Welcome to our Summer Online Calculus 2 course. This short video will show you how to navigate your way through the course. The most important thing you'll be doing is clicking here on the Content tab. And I strongly recommend that you use this first link here, Schedule and Grading, to get through the course. Click on that, and a calendar comes up. Here's a summary of the percentages for grading, homework, quizzes, tests. The final exam, all this material is online, except for the final exam, which is paper and pencil that you take with a proctor. There'll be more on that very shortly. The first couple of days in the course, there'll be a news item about that. Let's look at the first content material in the course, a review of integration from Calc 1. Notice a date for starting that review. This calendar is to help you work promptly through the material in the course. The most important thing in an online course is keeping up with your day-to-day work. And this calendar here is to help you do that as you go through the course. So here we'll see what's on the review. We come to a page of material. It tells you to skim some stuff from the Chapter 5 of our course text, and then go into some links here for more content. Notice the due dates there to remind you when things are due for that material. Let's look at this first link, definite and indefinite integrals. There's a slideshow to look at. Let's look at that. Here I'm in Google Chrome, which has its own viewer. You can also look at these in Adobe Acrobat if you want. If you're using some other browser, it may download to your computer, and you can view it there. In Google Chrome, you can download also. You can also print. So here's a slideshow. It goes through the content from this review of definite and indefinite integrals, some examples. So you go through that, and when you're finished, you take a brief quiz, very elementary, just to make sure that you've actually looked at the slideshow. The questions are not hard at all, just checking questions. Make sure you've, again, looked at the slideshow. Then there's a video to watch and a video quiz. Again, that's quite elementary. So it's due the same day that you start, because there's if you watch the video, you should have no trouble answering those questions. All right. Now, when you finish that material, then there's links, similar links for other material. And notice the due date on the last one here is a day later than the due date on the starting one. And this one is divided into two parts with different due dates. Once you've finished all that material, then there's a web work, homework assignment. This is part of your homework. And notice the due date there is a few days after you begin the material. Because these are homework questions, and those are substantial and that are graded as part of the course. Let's see what happens there when you click on that link. You go to an outside program outside of D2L called WebWork. You use your UWEC username, all lowercase, very important, all lowercase. Make sure you're typing all lowercase when you put that in, and your UWEC password. Now, I'm going to use a special username so that we'll see exactly what you will see as a student. So I'll log in now to WebWork. Actually, I was working in WebWork before, and it remembers what I did for problem 1. So that's the case all the time. It's always remembering what you're typing in. So if you have to take a break or you log off for some reason or another, WebWork will remember what you did before. You won't lose it. It's constantly saving your work. So here I've entered stuff. You can preview your answers to make sure WebWork is seeing what you want it to see. And here my answers look in the correct math format. I scroll down. Here, this third one is to see what happens if there's a wrong answer. Once you're satisfied with your answers, you want to see if they're correct or not. You click here, Submit Answers. I just clicked on it, and two are correct. One is incorrect. So we need to fix that incorrect one. Let's write correct answer here. And now I know that's correct, so I'll submit answers. And all three correct. So all the problems are done that way. You can submit your answers. If they're incorrect, you can scroll down and try to correct them. And you can do this process as many times as you wish up until the deadline for the homework. So because you can do the problems as many times as you wish up until the deadline, my guess is that people will do quite well on the homework here. It's a learning process to prepare you for the tests. Okay, so now we're finished with WebWork. I'll get out of there. And I've finished with this material here, so I'll go back to the calendar. Now all the sections are handled in a similar way. In fact, once we get past the review, they're organized even more simply. Let's look at section 6.1. There's a reading assignment from the textbook, a slideshow. These problems are from the textbook, just recommended. They're not graded. If you just want additional practice, you can use, say, Wolfram Alpha to check your work. That program, if you haven't heard of it, is discussed in the review slideshow that we didn't look at, but you'll see about Wolfram Alpha in that review slideshow. A very nice program for checking your work. There's some videos to watch. These are from Khan Academy. There are other videos in the course that are not from Khan Academy. They're not all from Khan Academy, but I thought these were pretty good. So once you've finished the slideshow and the videos, then you take a quiz, very elementary again, just to make sure you've looked at the slideshow and watched the videos. And then when you're all set to do the graded homework, you go to WebWork, click this link, and go into WebWork. All right, let's go back to the calendar now. And now once you've finished each of these sections here, there's a break, a review day. There are no special problems on that because the test is just taken from examples from the WebWork you've already done. So you click here on the test, and you go to a page that says click on this link, and you go into WebWork. Notice there's a due date for finishing the test. You can take the test 2 times, and I will take the higher of your 2 scores. Let's see what happens if we go into WebWork for test 1. In WebWork, the tests, there's 1 problem on each page. So when it says jump to page, you're actually, if I jump to here, I'm going to problem 4. 1 problem per page. And here, problem 1, you would enter an answer, and then you can preview your test answers. It doesn't tell you whether they're right or wrong. This is a test. When you have finished entering your answers for the problems on the test, only then click this button. If you click to grade the test, you have done your test 1 time, and you get 2 times. So don't click this button until you're ready to have WebWork grade your test for that time. It'll tell you how many answers were right or wrong, and which answers were correct, and then you can take the test again, but only 2 times up until the deadline. Once you've done it 2 times, Once the deadline is reached, the test is done. Once you've done it 2 times, you're locked out. You can't take a test a 3rd time. And you must take your tests by the deadline. Okay. All right, so that's how tests are handled. And that mostly covers what we have to do. There's just a few more things. If you have a question on the content of the course, please use the discussion tabs, not email. Discussion tabs for questions on the content in the course. I just clicked on discussion tabs and we're brought to here. Like section 6.1, they're all handled similarly. Each section has a discussion topics, and you have these threads that you click on. If you have a question on the content, the slideshow, video, or the textbook material, that's lesson questions. If you have questions on what web work is asking you, that's here, homework, web work questions. So you click on those, and then you start a thread. There's a thread button for your starting a topic of whatever your question is. Now I look at those discussion question threads once each day, Monday through Friday, and once on the weekend. So I look at those and regularly, like I said, once each day, Monday through Friday, and once on the weekend. One other thing, if you want to look at the course syllabus, I clicked back here to course home. Oops, it's under content. Course syllabus is down here on the left side, under course content. Syllabus and proctor form, syllabus and proctor form. Here's the proctor approval form, which there'll be news on that. First few days in the course, I'll tell you how to handle that. Here's the syllabus. You click there, and a PDF of the course syllabus comes up. I'll just scroll through that very briefly. You can read that yourself. Just 2 pages. Just summarizes actually what we've already been through here in the video. One last item, back at course home, there's the news here, that whenever you log on, there's news for the course. Pay attention if there's any new items there that you need to deal with. They're posted here in the news section. Well, that pretty much covers it. All I'll say now is welcome again to the course. I hope you enjoy it, and best of luck to you.